Hey guys, my name's Aiden Ferguson, and today we have a little different video for you guys. I'm going to be doing a recap of the Manchester United Arsenal game that went on today. There's a lot of Premier League midweek matchups, and this is probably my favorite. One, because I'm a United fan, and two, I love the Arsenal United battles that have gone on over the years. So let's just jump right into the game. So the game ended in a 2-2 draw. I thought it was I watched the second half. I wasn't able to watch the first half, but I watched the second half, and I thought it was a very interesting game. It was pretty exciting, going back and forth. But I think part of the reason why it was so interesting, so exciting, was because both teams kind of struggled. They both showed their weaknesses. Let's just start off with the goals, and then I'll dive in more into my takeaways from the game after that. So first off, we have goals for Manchester United from Martial and Lingard, and then the goals from Arsenal from Mustafi and Lacazette. So we have a couple names on there that you didn't really expect to see a lot of goals from. I mean, you weren't necessarily expecting a goal from Mustafi, the center back for Arsenal. And then Lingard, he had a goal drought. I think he hadn't scored in something like 27 games. So, yeah, that was kind of exciting and kind of good to see Lingard score, especially as a United fan. Next up, we have Manchester United coming on with 44% possession, and then Arsenal having 55% possession. So, as expected, Arsenal had the ball a little more, but Arsenal moved the ball more. They're better at connecting passes, whereas United struggle with that. Next up, we have shots on goal. United had 10 shots on goal, 7 on target, whereas Arsenal had 10 shots on goal and 5 on target. So, relatively similar. United had a couple more chances on goal. You would have liked to see them finish a couple more. So, now just talking about how I thought both teams were going to play, right? I thought United was going to sit back, do the same old thing, be solid defensively, and then just counter. And I thought Arsenal coming into the match was going to really control the pace of the game, control the flow, sit back, combine passes, get forward through their fullbacks, and just play creatively with Aubameyang and Lacazette up top, using a Wobie. I like the linkage play between Aubameyang and Ramsey, so I thought they were going to play well together. I thought they were just going to possess, move the ball, open up United, and then go after them, be solid defensively, keep numbers back defensively. And I think for me, what was like flaws in both teams' game plan was I actually liked the way United play a lot more. I thought the style was more fun to watch. I really enjoyed seeing them get forward more. I thought it was exciting. You saw United attack more. You started to see them go for it, especially in the second half, with Martial and Rashford were really going forward at pace, and it was fun to see. Lukaku came on, initiated a high press, so it made the game more exciting. As a United fan, I was really happy to see that. In terms of Arsenal actually kind of let the game be more open than I thought they would. I thought they would kind of hold on to the ball more, as City do, not as well, but kind of as City do. But Arsenal were doing the similar thing. They were just going for it immediately, and then they would sit back. So they played kind of similar, which was surprising to me. I think as an Arsenal fan, that would be concerning. As a United fan, it's whatever. It was good to see them come out of their shell. But both teams, I can say this confidently, both teams suffered from a lack of focus on the defensive end. So you saw the second goal against both teams really be affected by this lack of focus, right? So for Arsenal, Lacazette scored the second goal. But this goal happened, if you guys haven't seen, from Marcos Rojo, not paying attention, taking a bad touch, and then giving a bad giveaway, right? He could have knocked it out wide. He could have knocked out the line after he slipped, but instead he makes a careless pass in the middle. He tries to track back, can't recover. And it's just kind of lazy, and you would think these guys are getting paid millions of pounds a year. They're going to make mistakes. I understand that. But stuff like that it's just frustrating. You want to see him do better there, and he should really be doing better. I thought defensively, it was just United was so open all the time. They were getting exposed. They were getting beat one-on-ones. This is what Mourinho prides himself in is, we're going to defend, we're going to counter, and we're going to defend. And, most of the emphasis is on the defending. But with United's backline, I mean, I didn't see one guy back there that I would be happy, having consistently in the backline. Smalling, you know what he is. He's an okay he's an okay center back in the Prem. He's not going to be one of your top defenders on a winning team. You have Bailly, who I was impressed with initially when he moved to United, but since then it seems like he's almost regressed. He makes careless mistakes. He comes out sometimes going for the ball too hard and either misses the ball or just gets the player and takes him down. I thought it's just like Dallet at the right, he was all right, but defensively there was times where he would get beat and it was like his legs couldn't move anymore. I thought Darmian's okay, but his inconsistency throughout his time at United has really been a struggle. I don't know what was going on with Shaw. I don't know if Shaw's injured or what's going on with that, but I just don't think overall defensively they have like a solid group, a solid core, and it changes so much that it makes it hard almost to get in a rhythm playing together. In terms of Arsenal, I thought the formation of the 3-4-2-1 is a great formation for the style Emery wants to play. Especially since if you play the 4-3-3 with Arsenal, you have the concern of, because what Arsenal do, if you guys don't really know, Arsenal get forward through the wide positions. So you have Kolasinac and Bellerin bombing up the line. And what often happened in the Wenger era was, at the end at least, not at the whole time, obviously, but at the end, Bellerin and the other fullback would get caught up so far up the field as they're trying to be attacking players that Arsenal would also often get countered with only playing two in the back. So he's kind of switched this, allowing these players to get higher up the pitch, which I like. But my problem with this is, honestly, guys, let me know in the comments about this, but do you think a Premier League, like a team can win the Premier League with a back three of Holding, Socrates, and Mustafi? Like, I don't think that's possible to do because those guys, none of those guys are like you don't have a Van Dijk, you don't have a Laporte, you don't have a Company, you don't have one of these players, you don't have someone who can hold it down back there for them. And I think if you're going to play a back three, you have to have a very, like, one of the top defenders in the Premier League playing in your center half position. I think that's, for me, that's like, if Arsenal want to be considered a real title contender, because right now, for me, Arsenal's playing for third or fourth, and I mean, that makes sense with the standings. They're already 10 points below City. They are 8 points below Liverpool. I think 2 or 3 behind Spurs. So Arsenal is playing for third or fourth place right now. They've dropped into fifth. United dropped into eighth. So for me, like with Arsenal, you just have to go out either in the winter, and if you decide winter you're not going to go for it this season, next summer you have to go get a good center back. And I think everything else will work itself out. Up top, the creativity was great as usual. Midfield play was decent. I didn't think it was as good as normal. He didn't play Xhaka. I liked getting Guendouzi some time. Not sure if this was the right match, but I think I don't know. I think that back three is not going to work. If you were to maybe get rid of Socrates and then add someone, I don't know who you would add, what player you would bring in, but just someone, because I don't know who's really available right now, but you have to bring in a center back like Liverpool did with Van Dijk, because it totally changes the whole what's going on there, and I think Arsenal have a shout at winning the league next year if they can get that center back. And then in terms of like other questions I had for Emery, it was like, why isn't starting? Like Lacazette, why is he not starting? He's a great player. He's shown he's going to come on the pitch and score. So I think his chemistry with Aubameyang is something where you need to play both of them at the beginning of the match. I don't think giving him 30 minutes is necessarily the best thing, although he's proved he is a great like super sub in a way where he can come on and make an effect to the way in a way that most players can't. I think he needs to start. I think he's earned the right to start, and I think with his pace and Aubameyang's pace up top, like teams will be scared. They'll be nervous, and it'll cause them to just like not go forward as much, not penetrate the Arsenal backline as much, because they'll have to sit back when Arsenal are playing. In terms of United, I thought that like Pogba, I don't know why he's not starting. Great player. Mourinho's decided, I'm done with him. Like, he needs to start. You brought him in. United's brought him in for $100 million. You can't say it's a technical or tactical issue. When you bring a player of that quality in, you put them in the lineup no matter what. And I think there's just stuff going bad right now with them. I could see Pogba getting moved in the winter. I could see him getting moved in the summer, whenever. I could see him. I think United's going to have to choose between Mourinho and Pogba. For those of you who used to listen to my podcast on SoundCloud, you know I do prefer Pogba. You got to stick with the player, not the manager. Managers are replaceable. Talents like Pogba are not. So, in terms of De Gea, I thought he was excellent. I thought he played really well. I think we're starting to see kind of his return to old. He had a couple games where he had some mistakes, and I thought his save, the one where he dove across when Aubameyang just smashed it across the face of the goal with some whip on it. The one-hand save out was great. He had a couple when Aubameyang was in behind. The way he was able to turn his leg almost at an angle to block the shot was amazing. So I thought De Gea had a great match. So yeah, and then the thing about United is I just really enjoyed their play going forward. So I like the creativity, the combination, and I think they need to play like that more often, like where they're not scared to take risks and scared to go forward. And although people will be chirping about Lukaku, still saying he's not good, he's trash, he hasn't returned to form, he's not in shape. I think he has lost a little weight, and his shape is better. I saw him initiating the press higher up the field, which I thought was very good. I liked his work rate on the pitch. He offered something different, and I thought that was good because he was able to hold the ball up at times. Just technically, for me, not as good as some of the other players, but I just want him to find his rhythm because that's going to be huge for United going forward. He hasn't scored in something like 12 games at Old Trafford, and that's just mind-blowing, especially with the great forwards United has had in recent years. So, and my final takeaway is Fellaini is a piece of work. Did anyone else see when he just grabbed Guendouzi's hair, just pulled him back by his hair? Like, as a United fan, I've got to say, man, Fellaini is a jerk. Like, he came in, gave, I think, Lichtsteiner one of these nice little elbows to the head, pulled Guendouzi's hair, like, and I mean, that's what Fellaini is kind of on the field. He's a brute. He's not technical, he's not fast, he's not smart. He's there. Mourinho puts him on for a late-game header, and I don't know. At times, that can be super effective, and then other ways, it's just, like, as a midfielder, like, that must be frustrating to have that kind of like clog in the midfield almost. And I thought that was just pathetic. I kind of hope the league goes in and finds him or something for that, because pulling someone's hair is, in my opinion, not just a bookable offense, but potentially a red card. And since there was not, the referee didn't see it, I think just like a fine would be fine enough. So get it? Fine enough. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this little recap from the game. I thought I wanted to do just a little different of a video. I'm going to be dropping my next podcast on Friday or Saturday. I'm going to be recording Friday. We'll see when it gets out, but let me know what you guys want me to talk about on the podcast in the comments, or and go follow me on Instagram at Everything Sports 101 blog. You can DM me to let me know what you want me to talk about on the future podcasts. And just to let me know if you want to be on a podcast. If you want to be on, please DM me. Right now I can only have one other person on the podcast, but soon I'll be getting more equipment, more mics, a mixer. So we're really moving forward here quickly. So please let me know and I can get you a spot in the future. Thank you guys for watching, and just go share this with your friends, and really appreciate the support. Peace.